have. He honors them, cares deeply, and treats their concern like his own. Finally, David is a master strategist. Their investment portfolio thrives under his management, and Susan never has to worry about their money. And in every way, David is devoted to Susan. Even their intimacy is tender. I think I love that. Fulfilling and beyond the ordinary. A space where love and passion intertwine. And our friends envy her life, often call her blessed among women. That's talking about Susan. And yet, beneath the surface of this picture perfect life, Susan quietly wrestles with an emotion she can't shake. Despite all of David's sacrifices and devotion, a part of her is still unsettled by the fact that he stays at home. Sorry. A whisper in her heart tells her something is off, not because David isn't enough, but because what he represents challenges everything she thought she believed about gender, roles, and fulfillment. It is not that she doesn't love him. It is not that he has failed her. It is that somewhere between culture, expectation, and silent intentional conflict, she is unsure of how to celebrate a man who chose home over hustle. Hallelujah. So that will be our case study for today. I want to believe the story is clear between David and Susan, and what they consider as a challenge. And of course, the last sentence actually, encapsulate everything to show us where the challenge is for Susan. And this will be our case study, and then I will be having two people that will actually join me. But before that, I just wanted to. Do you have the music ready? We have the music ready. Alright, so you can just play the music for us, and then we pass the microphone, and then I will choose the two people. The two people will now determine.
I believe maybe sometimes if I were David, I would just call my wife just out of the blue and let's discuss.
Okay.
Is there anything like do you think there is anything you are not comfortable with? Like anything, let's just have heartfelt conversation.
Okay.
And most definitely, if not the first attempt, sometime later, something in the lady would urge her. Would just like speak about it with your husband, and definitely they are going to speak about it, and they will find a way to work their way around it without having the marriage crumble.
Awesome. Please, let's appreciate our powers. All right. So, first to Sister Dami. So, from a lady's perspective now, I haven't read all of this story. I want you to put yourself in Susan's shoes. Is her concern, is it valid? Okay.
Okay, thanks for the question. So I want to start from this aspect.
Okay.
The first thing is when I was reading the story, I was wondering what they were doing during courtship. What kind of communication do they have? Because this is something that they are married with kids. That means it's very long, it's a long duration. So 10 years, okay, the years is there, good. Now when it comes to relationship and courtship, I believe that in the process of courtship, there should be conversations of expectations in marriage. What are the things that you want in your marriage settings? What are the expectations you have, like a checklist? What do you expect? So for Susan, I was just looking that is it that she wasn't aware David was it not a mutual agreement that is going to be a stay at home dad, or is this something David just woke up one day and said, you know what, I quit my job, I want to stay home with our kids? Because I'm trying to picture what really happened, because the thing is, the story says the in-laws were happy with the kind of person David is, yet their daughter has issues with it. And the thing is, she didn't discuss with her husband about her issues. There was no story that says that. So I was just I'm going to look at Suzanne's perspective. There's one thing that a man is not providing financially, and then he decides to stay at home. There is another thing that, okay, the financial aspect is there, but he chose to stay at home, either working from home and staying with kids and all that. Because we have stay at home dad, it's not a new thing. But the thing is, there should be an agreement between the couples. And if such happens, because it says the last um, line says she's unsure how to celebrate a man who choose. Is it that it's David that chose to stay at home? Because
Let me ask the question in this way.
okay.
Should in case David had a mentor that just find a way to speak the truth to him, that okay, you have to just adjust this and adjust, okay, yeah. And David decided that, oh, since I have this unusual interest in finance and prudence, and then I know how to manage investment, oh, I'm going into investment sector and I'll be bringing some money home, will it still be healthy for this family if it goes out? The wife now goes out, the husband too now goes out, all of the role is playing, so how will they manage it?
Good. Now that's the aspect I'm looking at from Susan.
Okay.
Because obviously all these roles that the story says David is performing, where is Susan's role in this aspect? What is she doing during those time? Okay, you don't want your husband to stay at home, you want him to be a man that he should be, work the roles you understand. Okay, what about the roles you understand as a wife, as a woman? Are you performing those roles? Because it's one thing, we can't really look at David and say he's a lazy bad man, because there might be some things that the wife ought to do that she's not fulfilling in the aspect of the home management, and that's why David had to say, okay, you know what, I choose, or I want to delegate myself for these roles. Is Susan playing those roles? If she's not, I don't think she has a genuine excuse to say she can't celebrate him. It's worth celebrating. Even we have wives that stay at home wife. It's not staying at home does not mean they are jobless. Does not mean the person is not playing a significant aspect in the marriage. Because that's the main thing. Because there's two things when it comes to raising children. There's parenting, there's raising. Now raising means you are actually grooming the child to be what the child needs to be. You are providing financially and all of that. Parenting, I think David is the one playing the parenting role. Yeah.
All right, please let me just pause. Let's throw the question to the whole congregation. Now we are in the 21st century where the dynamics are now changing. Before, women are always staying at home. If all these qualities we have read now were said about Suzanne, we wouldn't have any issue with it. You went to PT, you went to take care of grandma, all of this, you are busy in the kitchen, it's not a concern, it's normal when it's women. But because it's not a guy now, stay at home woman is widely acceptable. So, but in this 21st century where women are even thriving more in the corporate world than men, and then primarily men have been seen as the source of provision, so the two are now hands-on and then the family is lacking. How can we throw a balance using their life as a case study? Sister Angela, you can say something to that. Thank you.
Okay, so first of all, praise God.
Hallelujah.
This is my opinion at the moment. I believe that both for men and women always have something doing. In this day and age, you can be at home and be. I know a woman. She's based in Rio. She does Upwork. She's earned over $50,000 on Upwork. Full-time housewife, never worked before. See, the thing is that we pray to God to marry good people. Do you understand? But as a person, this is not man, this is not woman. Have something for yourself. Children will grow up, children will leave you. God forbid, you don't know if you'll be a widow or a widower, and nobody prays for it. Do you understand? It happens. Have something, no matter how small. Secondly, if God has given you a gift, like if you're so good at investments, don't keep it to yourself. You can find a way to do it that will work along with your family life. Do you understand? Because the benefit of post-COVID is that we can now see that so in this age you can make good money and still your family life won't suffer. You can do everything. Like one of our deaconesses, she does 2 days at work, 3 days at home. You understand? At children, she's in their life, she's parent, and she's still earning. Do you understand what I'm saying? So this is a new age. With what she's doing, I don't see anything wrong. But what I just don't agree with is the fact that you have a gift, you are not using it, and you are not doing anything. And this is not because he's a man. have some have something doing. You pray for even women that they say they want to be with a man, they want to be with a man. It's good, but please something for yourself. Children will grow up. Please, just have something that you can do well and can produce money for you, whether you're a man or a woman. And this generation has made it very easy. So that's my take on it. Thank you very much.
Please, can we celebrate Sister Angela? Awesome. So there's something I want us to also take note of here, and I would like the media to actually help us with that part. It says he manages the investment portfolio of the family, helping them to make some prudent, decision. Okay, I think here they said that and treat their concerns like his own. Okay, financially, David is a master strategist. Their investment portfolio thrives under his management. We don't know what Suzanne is actually doing, right? Obviously, they must have been a blessed. So Suzanne must have been working very well for them to live in a luxurious, apartment and all of that. So, and he is actually helping them to manage the investment portfolio, helping it to thrive. That seems like something cool, preserving their money. But why can we say why was Suzanne not happy? Could it be that sometimes when she's not feeling cool introducing his husband to people and they're like, what's your husband doing? And that can actually be a concern. That what's your husband doing? And in a very classy place, she can't really fix. I think our guest has something to say about that. So please, Dr. Anthony, you have the floor, sir.
Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah.
Okay, the story is an interesting one, right? It's an engaging one, to be very honest. There are a lot to say, right? And 10 years, right?
Yeah.
Would have been something, a lot would have happened even before we got here.
Yeah.
Right? There's something we might not have been hearing. But let me go straight to why she feels that way. And first of all, I will say that her concerns are very valid.
Okay.
Very, very valid. Now, why I'm saying that is, now let's go to the context of the definition of a man. When you give birth to a male child, he's not a man. He's addressed as a child. In fact, what you will define that baby is based on his gender. He's a male. He's not a man yet. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, there is things we do as men that defines us as a man. Do you understand what I'm saying? There are things we do. And for a woman, yes, you'll be so... I'm speaking from the level of experience I've had with my wife. What he's doing, when he started it, staying at home, cooking, doing a lot of things, she loved it. But over time, she got weary of it. Yeah. Now, in marriage, for a man and for a woman, you have to be very spontaneous. Do you understand? There are times and seasons where that is useful. She will love it. Give her that treat. There are times and seasons too where she will want you to go out and hustle and do something with your hands as the man you are. Do you understand what I'm saying? So in this context, do you get my point? Yeah, they would have discussed about it. When he started, she would have asked him, why are you saying that? Why? She would just tell her, and she's okay. But over time, imagine she goes out, see what men are doing over there, and comes home and see her husband at home taking care of children. In fact, she will be concerned that, are you sure my husband is not always a woman rapper like this?
Yes, so.
In fact, what will my friends say if they see that my husband is, would they still classify him as a man? It's good. That's why in relationship or marriage, it's good you just bring in some spontaneous level of things. Of course, I'll tell you, there are times my wife will just ask me, when will you cook for me? Yeah. Even up to now, she still asks. In as much as they want to see that soft part of you as a man, they also want to see that masculine aspect of you as a man. These are what women want to see. So for me, just to wrap it up, what I will say in this context is, what he's doing is good, right? Of course, he's taking all the roles the wife is meant to do, and the wife is taking all the roles he is meant to do. So there should be a balance. right? Of course, it's good for, just like she said, get something doing. It is good. You will so enjoy your marriage when your wife is doing something. She's doing a kind of work that can make her have an eyes in the family and the children. While
You have to come over that.
yeah, I said it is good when you strategize or your wife is working, but the kind of work she's doing gives her the time to focus on those menial things in the family, like cooking, taking care of the children.
Okay, but in this case, it's not like that.
It's not like that. It's the reverse. Everything is the reverse in that case. And I wouldn't blame the woman for it. The man might be comfortable,
Yeah.
but
The woman might be the pushy one.
yes,
Okay.
but with time you see that the woman is like, because women like the mix of some certain things.
Yes.
You understand? They like it
Very
mixed.
true.
They like it. They are. Sorry, I'm taking much of the time. I'm wrapping up. They are people that they want a bit of this too. They want a bit of this too. Their mood changes sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes they want it this way. Sometimes they want it that way. Sometimes it's not this way again. You understand what I'm saying? So sometimes this thing he's doing is good, but he has to just pipe down and move to the other side of him being a man and taking care of himself, going to work. Do you understand what I'm saying? So,
I see.
Oh yeah, please let's give a round of applause to the
I mentioned that until you see now. So you see, one of the reasons why we have to come together like this to learn together in unison. Now, her point collaborate with his point, and if you look at it carefully too, has some kind of link with her point and even with his point. And then you remember when she started, she was like, what were they using their days of courtship to do if they've not fully highlighted this kind of issue? Because it's not this kind of thing, it does not start in a day. You will have been seeing traces and signs of it, that this one is more homely, this one is more outgoing. They should have planned it and thought it through. And one of the things the powers actually emphasize on is the fact that they should converse, they should have conversation and put planning. There is their home, and then it is where how they structure it, that's how it to play out. So planning, conversation, the same thing, still talk it out and have something doing. Please, I want you to help me celebrate Brother Pius and Sister Dami. They've been amazing. Please, thank you so much. Please, can you celebrate them? This thing caught them unawares, so they were not informed before and then they delivered. Alright, so I want Brother. Oh, okay, yes, please. I will address that. So, Brother, and please, can we have one more chairs? One more chair, rather. Sorry, one more chair, and then now I would like to pass the baton to one of our guests, and that's Mrs. Uhegbus. So she has something to say. Please, let's celebrate her. All right, so you can share, ma'am.
All right, thank you so much. The question is a very good one. So I'm just going to take off from where it stopped.
Okay.
So it says something
one.
So it says something about being spontaneous.
Okay.
The truth is, courtship is very good, but there are a whole lot of things you would discuss during courtship that may not play out in marriage. I mean, you may have agreed, oh yeah, we're going to do this, you're going to do this, but upon setting into the marriage, things takes a new turn. So what I would say also is that not just women, I think generally many people, youth, even adults, we don't live in the context of we are living for God and we are living for ourselves. We live for the culture. We live for the expectation of the society. So, because the truth is, if I was in Susan's shoe, I would ask myself, what does my home need? What's the goal of my home? If what my home is playing out is in alignment with the goal of my home, I don't care. Really, I don't. If what is playing out in my home is in alignment with the need of my home, because the truth is, I mean, I've always heard this even before we got married, that no two marriages are the same. I see, the society can say a man should be like this, a woman has to be like this. In cases where there are men and women that come together, but based on experiences, because the truth is we don't get to choose the kind of home we were being birthed into. So your experience, like you were a wealthy lady, you grew up in a very great place and all of that, automatically you're outspoken, you're outgoing, you know a lot of things, and you're so brilliant and all of that. You can use that to the advantage of your home. You understand?
I want you to pause a little. Now, from the perspective you're speaking from, I want us to bring it closer. So put yourself in Susan's shoe. You're doing well in your career. You are earning in millions, in many figures, and then you now have your husband who caters for the home. And according to what you said now, you said if it's working based on what you plan to play in your home, you're cool with it. So are you cool to have a husband like David?
Yes.
Okay.
If it is in alignment.
Mr.
That's what I'm
David.
saying. No, you're
Okay.
asking me.
But are you cool?
Understand?
Yeah.
You are asking me if it. That's why I said if it is in alignment with the goal of my home,
Okay.
and if it is in alignment with the need of the home. Because the truth is, our lives are like is pivoted into phases. A phase might come. That is what we need. It might, and that phase might last for 10 years. Another phase might last for 15 years.
Yeah,
Another
that's
phase
true.
might last for 2 months.
That's true.
That's why I said if it is alignment with the goal of the home for that season, for that time, and that's where I'll take the conversation from this man.
Okay.
If I was David too, I mean, I can be doing so well, doing this, that. It shows that he's not being proactive in noticing his wife. At least she would have given all of those hints, all of those body language. You know, there's no how women. You cannot hide it. You understand? So it's not like he's not being very present in terms of noticing how things are going on. Because if you are consistent with understanding each other, then knowing, okay, having conversations regular. It might not be every month. It might not be. You understand? You may have, let's say, quarterly. You know, by half of the year or something like that. There's no way, because now you are planning, okay, for this next phase of our family, this is it. You will now know that this person is not finding it easy again, if not for anything, but our consciousness is changing. And you have, because now, yes, they used to say, especially in the Christendom, they say marriage is not partnership, it's partnership. It might be a lot of things that God said it is, but it's also partnership. So that partnership arm of the relationship, you now have to see, if my wife is not feeling okay, then you shouldn't feel okay. Irrespective of, oh yeah, we discussed it, you were good with it, this is what I want. It's not about what I want again. So I've become more. If she's not fine, you should not be fine. That's just it. So I tie it up like that number one, as it should be a thing of what is the need of our home and in this season, and what is the goal of our home in this
season. It's about time for you to say our guests. You'll be hearing their sound from behind. So join me as I welcome Mr. and Mrs. Uhegbus, Anthony, and Ololade to the podium. When they come here, I'm going to give you a quick introduction about them. So please, you can just come to the table. You're welcome. You're welcome, sir. You're welcome. You're welcome. Now you can have your seat as you get to. All right, so you can sit there. I would like to sit here. All right, thank you. So you can sit, madam. You're welcome. You're welcome, man. You're welcome. All right, so on behalf of the Consecration-House Church, we want to welcome our latest couple, part of our family and friends. And I'm going to tell you a story. And that story will be amazing. You see, I got to know this man and this over 2017 till now. How many years is that? 8 years. Yeah, I've known both of them for over 8 years. As a matter of fact, we went to the same higher institution, but they did something that shocked me, and I will talk about it here. They know how to talk about. Aside from the fact that we went to the same higher institution, we were all in the same department. Imagine, we are now even member of the same NGO. Not just member of the same NGO. I was a director there. He was a director there. He was a director there. Let me even mention it. I was the director of Tactical and Strategic Intelligence Team. in charge of surveying and all of those things, organizing program and all of that. He is the director of classified and special intelligence team, where you hear about the what's that research and development. So he always is the brain behind it. And then she was in charge of the finance. She is the financial director of financial intelligence team and something thing. So we were all directors in a team of 7 people, 7 directors like that. And you will never know that these 2 people have been looking at themselves with some side, and you will never know. Like, it shocked me the day he told me that I'm getting married. I was like, oh, to who? He says somebody in the vineyard. I said, vineyard who? He was saying, he's not telling me like parable. Honestly, you're more close, or you have more intimacy to me than to our secretary then. I'm telling you, they can also watch it. That's Mrs. Yaya Bolanlera. You talk more, you relate more. I see you more with our vice president. And that's when we go, how you now flip the card? I don't get down. So you're going to tell us today. Like, you never appear, you never have it. It will never even occur to you. And then it happen. And then later on, you now shock me that you've been dating for more than 5 years. Can you put perspective?
Can I have my own mic? Even more mic, 4 mics.
Praise the Lord. Okay,
How were you able to do it?
well, okay, let me start this way.
I think she is close to the mic, so to the speaker.
Okay, we've been friends since 2013.
Hey!
Between 2013 and 2014, right? We
Sorry, sir, I'll be cutting you. When did you get married?
that was last year, 2024.
2013! So please give them a round of applause. Please give them a round of applause. So, long dates if you work. 2013 till last year. Tell us, how did you do it?
Okay, so that 2013, we were just friends, right? We're in the same department in school, studying the same thing, right? Then afterwards, it wasn't more, that kind of friendship where it's a high thing. How are you doing? Do you have notes that you've written regarding this course, like that? So that's how it was. So we now furthered our institutions. Then we were in different departments this time, until I now invited her and I told her to join the NGO which I was. Then she joined. Right, and from there the friendship became ignited very well. We started having conversations, just normal till 2020, that COVID year, where the COVID came and everyone was at home now. There was a blessing. So then so that was a time for call.
He said there was a lot of time for call for our online audience, so I have to.
Right, so I started checking up, calling her. How are you doing now? How are things with you? Hope you're fine. Hope you're not going out too often. Looking at how the environment is, things like that. And that period of time, I think, in fact, before COVID started, March 2020. That's when the outbreak came to Nigeria, right? As at January, I've started having an eyes on her. Having an eye on her, and I'm like, okay. Because one thing about me is, I like spending time in the friendship before a serious relationship. Right? I'm not the kind of person that likes jumping into a serious relationship with someone that I've known for 2-3 months. I don't do well with it. It's better I become friends with you so that I know everything about you. When we are friends, you can't hide a lot of things. If I come and tell you I want to date you, that's when you do all these kind of things. I don't need it. I need to see you normal as you are. Show me your flaws, I'll show you my flaws. We fall, we fail, we do everything. Let's be who we are naturally. Then when I can then afterwards, then I can live with this person's goodness, I can live with this person's faults, I can stay with it, and that's how I started. So I started calling then. As of January during my birthday, I called her. Okay, let's go out. I want to spend my birthday with you. I was the one that called her on my birthday. Let's just go out as friends. So from there, I started sharing my ideas with her. But she didn't know why I was sharing my ideas with her, because one thing you should know as a lady, when the guy starts sharing his ideas with you, what he wants to do in future, and he's not asking you what you think about it, just start. The ladies don't that. Most ladies don't really, they don't really know why. But a guy that shares his plan with you and asks you, what do you think about it? You think it will fly? He's a guy that sees you in that plan as well, even in future.
And there's something I want you to pause on. I want you to settle in the heart of people. Ladies, are you hearing that? Guys don't just speak. Oh, we don't just speak. If we share our plan with you, you get why. All right, continue, sir.
That was from there. COVID came. We started talking. So as at then, I was jobless. So on the day I went to submit my CV at one particular company, I saw her there.
Right. See the way you're living things up. Hold on, sir. Hold on, you continue. There's something I would like to say. While we were all directors, so there was a time we wanted to hold a youth fellowship. For those that have been here for a while, you will know. And they wanted to do something, and then there was a need to bring a guest speaker that will come and talk about finance. Yeah, I know her to be the financial, and then me not knowing anything, I've always said that they don't even look like they used to talk. Do you understand? And then I just decided I'm going to invite the two of them. We have people that are skilled with communication, they can verify. We have Director Grace, we have Director, we have Honorable, we have the President. That could have called any of them, but I just decided to call the two of them, and then later on they were wondering. I think you told me that, did I know anything about it or something? I know, I was just working in spirit though, joining people unknowingly. And anyway, we can go ahead, sir.
As at then, we were already in relationship. We were already dating, dating as at then. So one of the things we agreed within our when we started was, okay, we're not going to blow it out of proportion now, right? Let's use this time to understand ourselves. I don't like a situation. For me, I like keeping myself on that good, not really painting myself good though, but I don't want impurities, mixed feelings across what I'm having with her, right? Because we have friends. My friends are her friends. Her friends are my friends. So you can imagine that scenario where they all know we are together. There will be a lot of mixed kind of things that we might not see our own for who we are. We start seeing what people are. So we just decided, okay, let's understand ourselves to a point before we share the information out. Yeah, let's know that, okay, anything that happens is coming from you. Anything that happens is coming from me, right? We just went on that note, but to be honest with you, to be very honest with you, they were ups and downs. In fact, as a matter of fact, they were ups and downs. If you understand where you've been friends with someone for 7 years or 8 years before you started dating that person, right? Of course, it's not you, it's you now. Is there anything new? For me, it was like that. For her, it was like that. You understand? How can you be? I don't know how to put it to you, but what I want you to understand is there's that level of when you meet someone you're dating for the first time and you want to be nice, good, but we were both nice, but is it that point where I disrespect her? She'll show me I don't like it though. You understand? She'll tell you raw, straight. If me I don't like it, I'll tell her raw, straight. So all those kind of things cost a lot of, like, I'm familiar with you already.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's how it is. I'm familiar with you already. So what's new?
So I have a question. So, and that's to both of you. How did you handle not telling anybody? Because I know that when they are teaching about these things in church, they always say that let people know for accountability's sake. Do you understand? So you're accountable to somebody, especially when it comes to chastity and things like that. So, and most times they advise if you have godly friends, let your godly friends know, not just anyhow friends that will be encouraging you to do rubbish. Let your godly friends know, at least one or two. So how did you handle keeping it? I want to also hear, and you can also tell your own side of this story. And yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so to pick up from where you stopped, though we did not tell anybody, but we both have a mutual friend that was at the time the best friend to both of us. Yes.
I can suspect.
So, so, and the thing is, we at the time too, I didn't even know that he was his best friend, right? But he was my closest friend at the time, apart from him. So, it was later on when we were now getting very close, we now even started, and I got to know that they were best friends, and I'm like, oh, this person is my brother, like he's my closest friend, that even if we don't tell anybody in the world, we have to tell him.
I mean, we need to give kudos to that person. You might not know the person, but me, I know the person.
I'm like, we owe it for friendship, because we were beyond just ordinary friends. Right from ND, we three of us, we look out for each other. We're in the same class. We look out for each other, be it studying, if I need help with assignments, so he was always there, likewise on his side and all that. And the both of them, to me, if they are doing anything in our class, I'm the kind of student that I come late. I'm not always around. I was working with somewhere that it took a lot from me. So, but because he will keep space for me, he will tell me, Lola, they've done this in class, so you will not do this. They are always like on my neck, like chige. So we had that one person that was a mutual to both of us as friends. So also, because of my training from the church, the fellowship like this that I belong to, I have a spiritual head. I can't go into any relationship without informing them. So I told him about it. Now,
Okay, can we move?
yeah, I told him about it, that see, I cannot go into a relationship without telling the man I call my spiritual father. That's one. Then two, apart from my spiritual father, there is a direct person in that same fellowship that is like my direct discipler in that fellowship. I have to inform her. Yes, he had his objections, and that's where our experiences as individual comes in. You understand? So there are people who don't want their business out, and my husband fall into that category. He doesn't want, when we have agreed on a thing, you are doing otherwise, which I have come to understand. So, but then this is also still me. You have not married me, and I have a say over my life. You understand? At the time, so we had to agree that I can go ahead to talk to that person, which I then went to tell my spiritual father. He gave me a form. Before you go into relationship, you have to fill the form. You wanted to meet with him, and all. No, it took a while before he now later came, because I went ahead. I disobeyed, which went to wait for me when we were, you understand, when things got serious. He went to wait for me, and I had to go beg, do all of those things before they now accepted me. Then I brought him. We went to his house with gifts and all of that. But then, even though I didn't really work with my spiritual father, that my discipler, she was involved. And because she was involved, my spiritual father was involved, because she will go and give the information. Because in that ministry we have, because he as a spiritual father, he won't have time for everybody. So, but there's someone that picked me up at the time, because I was a Muslim, I became a Christian. So it was that fellowship that God used to groom me in ways in the Bible and all of that. So they began to train me. So I had that one person that was like my mother. She was there. She knew everything. So there wasn't anything like we just made it just the two of us. She knew everything. Then on his own part, he had his elder brother, though he didn't also tell him, but there was someone he was accountable to. And yes, they know he's in a relationship, but they didn't know who the person was. But they were aware that he was in a relationship. Yeah. So that's it.
Can we give her, and can we give him a round of applause for letting us to know a lot about her? So we have a lot of serious questions I want to ask her. But you said something very crucial now. I think we should address that first. She said she came from a Muslim background. You originally were born as a Christian. Okay. All right. So another thing you notice is his name is Anthony Uhegbus, and her own name is Ololade Uhegbus. So there's a tribal cross or something like that there. So how were you able to manage the tribal difference, cultural difference, and then the religion background difference? The difference, you having a Muslim background, you having, how were you able to manage it when you were getting married?
Okay.
Do you have any objection of anybody saying no?
Well, not really. Not saying no, but however, they raised the concern about, have you seen this? Have you seen this? Are you aware of this? Yeah. Have you checked it? Have you looked into it to see if it will work? Right. I had people that told me that. Although when I met her about 2013 or 2014, she was already on the verge of converting. Right. She has already converted. She has converted already into a Christian. She just converted into a Christian when I first met her for the first time. Right. So she wasn't a Muslim, and it wasn't difficult for me to just, it was easy. She was already a Christian, right? But in terms of the cultural thing, right, I had my family member tell me they accept anybody from any culture. My dad is this kind of person that doesn't discriminate. What his own focus, as long as he's a good girl, as long as she's good, she's marriable, she listens to you, yeah, she can be a good wife to you, marry her.
What about
That's
mommy?
the house. You understand?
What about mommy?
Mommy was fine. As a matter of fact, when friends haven't really known, family had known, she comes to visit, I go to visit her. That's another thing that that for dating or for courtship, right? When the guy is bold enough to go and meet your parents or visit you and doesn't mind seeing your dad or seeing your mom, that's where you now start. Another tips, even for the guy, even for the girl as well, she can comfortably come to your house and see your mom and say, good afternoon, ma, good afternoon, sir. Sit down comfortably in the house. That's the kind of person. For any guy that you're dating or any girl that you're dating, that your mom is around, I'll come back later, or let's meet somewhere. The guy is not ready yet. He's still thinking about some things. Do you understand? So for culture, I had my dad, my mom, even my elder brother telling me, she's Yoruba. How far? You go work? Will you work? Have you checked? And in my mind then, I wasn't seeing those things as a barrier. Do you understand? Because you can have somebody that is from even your village that you want to marry, and it's not working. You guys are speaking the same language and it's not working. Your ideas are different from hers are different from yours, and you guys are you're like cat and mouse or dog inside the house. So for me, one of the edges I was telling them that I had was, we've known ourselves for a long time. Yeah, I've seen her fault, she has seen my faults. We can do this, we can make this work. Of course, I even know how to speak Yoruba. Yeah. Yes. Funny enough. Let him speak. Let me Yoruba. Let us hear. The Yoruba that you speak now, you pick it. No. Actually, my wife can rescue me on that. Okay. She knows, right? And gradually, although I have not really started seriously, gradually I'm planning on bringing her into the Igbo speaking kind of thing, which is very interesting, right? There are a lot of things you will learn from her tribe, right? A lot of new things, even in food, even from our own part, even in food, a lot of things. So that's one thing about saying being spontaneous, trying these things and learning. There are a lot of ideas from her tradition, from her religion, or culture that I will learn, and there are a lot she will learn from ours.
Okay, so talking about the learning part, I love the way you're actually talking about it. So let me put the question to that already. Now, in Yoruba, most of the Yorubas, they love eating pepper. How have you given him pepper before? or do you take okra, or you reject the okra? Oh no. All right. So how were you able to manage the food to him, and how was he able to blend?
Okay, so of course he ate pepper. So
Uh-huh.
that one is normal. So he had pepper, and I think the first few months he'll be like, please reduce this pepper. Then I'll go to the market. In my mind, I'll cook again. I'll think I've actually reduced the pepper, but he will still complain
Hey.
that this, and I was having fear of
Those are the balance.
I may really not, because me, I grew up first with a grandma,
Again,
then with my hands,
and they will use local
and
this.
implementing. Me as a Yoruba woman, we don't use atagigun for food.